which it takes true synchronization. Obviously, we strive for consistency, and it takes great focus. Nothing we can do can be casual. We just got to do it with great focus and great intensity. Um, and that starts with our preparation. Been very efficient football at rates, and then we've had these lows, and so we just um, gotta stay together and band together.
I love him. I just love him.
He'd be a great coach someday.
That's a great take.
Yeah, he's so good the way he presents himself.
Eagles 20. So this is the last 8 games from the Eagles. They're 8 wins, which is nice. They've won in the playoff games by 17. They've only won these games by 5. Hurts' total yards is down 30 plus, and Saquon's yards
are almost cut in half.
Yikes! I didn't realize it was that bad. 143 to about 77. Are you expecting a complete game from Jalen in the Eagles against the Broncos, Nick?
I mean, no, because we haven't, in my opinion, really seen one yet. And I think the Eagles right now, Coach, are a great case study in one of your favorite catchphrases that I'm sure you didn't come up with, but I give you credit for. Maybe you
know I didn't come up with it.
Because I think you're going to tell me you got it from Parcells or something. Okay. Do not ignore in victory what you would not ignore in defeat. Did you come up with that?
No, I don't even think I said it that way.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, whatever. You know what I'm saying. And because right now the offense is broken. And that I don't think that's an overstatement. If we show you their offensive ranks, to me, the fact that they're able to score 27 points per game, despite being 30th in yards, 31st in passing yards, 16th in rushing yards, 29th in yards per rush, 30th in yards per play, tied for 25th in explosives, I don't think that's sustainable. So maybe we don't like, or people didn't like, the way A.J. Brown has sounded the alarm because it feels A.J. Brown-centric. The kinder way, or the more optimistic lens to look at it is, A.J. Brown is saying, yes, I want the ball, but that's because what we're doing isn't working. And so I do think they need to change what they're doing in order to have a chance to keep the undefeated record, which is the only reason we're not sounding major alarms.
Yeah, when you look at it, it's hard to know what a complete game for Philly is anymore because it used to be Saquon would be dominant, and then from a passing perspective, they made enough plays to win, but they didn't have to rely on it. Now the passing game doesn't really work. Saquon's not really working, but they are winning, and at the end of the day, that's what the most important thing is. We talked about the Chiefs last year and the way that they won in a lot of different ways, and you got to give them credit for that because that's a sign of a mature team to be able to find that. But to Nick's point, there is a lot of stuff broken, and they did transition offensive coordinators again, and that happened last year because the offensive coordinator the year before wasn't very good. Maybe that's a much bigger issue than we think in terms of play call continuity, the types of plays that are being chosen. So it's nothing they don't realize, and it's going to get significantly louder the first game that they lose. And to not be able to somehow show some progress in these victories, I think is going to be a huge, huge issue when they finally do lose a game.
Yeah, I mean, look, Denver could beat them. I would expect Philly to win, but Denver's a good team, and Philly's not going 17-0. I don't expect the complete game either offensively. Denver's defense is really good. They lead the league in sacks. They've only given up 2 pass touchdowns the whole season, and that's best in the league. So what I expect is Philly to look really good at points. I'm not saying it's going to be one great half and one bad half offensively, but I think they'll have their moments and they look good, and then they'll have moments and they'll look pretty bad. And I think they'll win a game that's, okay, they got to win, but we're not like raving about the offense.
Do you think
they
can fix,
Yeah, I definitely think they can, because you got a quarterback. They've shown, like, whenever they let him throw, he does it well.
But what's not sustainable is they can't be this bad throwing the ball and this bad running the ball and this inconsistent with production on either side of the ball for significant stretches. It's worked to this point, but it's hard to imagine that we're not going to get to a point like when they hit the supernatural funk a couple years ago.
Right.
Where
They've had
once-
spurts.
Yeah,
Their
once-
spurts are winning them the games.
You just hope
Yeah.
that once they do fall, it doesn't spiral like it did 2 years ago.
Like you look, Dallas, the Rams, and Tampa Bay. They had spurts for like a half.
Yes.
Offensively, Kansas City, they were kind of
Kansas
the
City
same
was
the
a
whole
solid-
game.
yeah.
That was a decent game.
It's the weirdest thing about it all is they've played a brutal schedule.
Yeah.
They've won all the games. They have thoroughly dominated their opponent in half of each of the last 2 games. They thoroughly dominated the Rams in the second half. They thoroughly dominated the Bucs in the first half. They beat Kansas City straight up in Kansas City.
Yep.
And this is why this is a compliment, Eagles fans. You're doing this without playing well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a compliment to the overall talent and depth of the roster right now. But I agree with Coach. I think that from a vibes perspective, the thing keeping it steady, Jalen's a great leader, but is that we haven't lost.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
once
know what I
they
mean?
lose,
Once-
that heat's going to
Because then it's going to
up.
feel like we're massively underachieving statistically and we've lost.
Monday night, the king of the AFC taking on the Prince, Mahomes versus Trevor. Now, Trevor's
Coach.
0-3 versus Mahomes in his career. The Jags defense forcing turnovers, and the Prince will try to get himself off of the following list. Winless against Patrick, Baker, Drew Lock, the Prince, Tua, Jimmy G, and Big
And that's
Ben.
actually a side. I mean, that's a good list. That's a list of really good quarterbacks. Some. Big Ben's a Hall of
It's a
Famer.
solid
Jimmy
list.
G's one of Bruce's favorites.
You have to be good enough to keep
Tua.
playing.
You love
Yeah,
Tua.
well, listen.
That's a decent lift.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Lock just played in the division and was bad. But Baker's awesome. Trevor's the Prince. Yeah.
So we're going to flip this. What would a win over Mahomes mean for Trevor?
Oh, it'd mean the Prince is full on back. They're 4-1. You beat Mahomes. At that point, people would not. Here's the bright side to playing in Jacksonville and nobody really paying attention. The national media is not focused on the fact that Trevor hasn't played well this year. I am, because I'm invested in the guy, and you know what I mean? I watch him. I bet on him last week. Appreciate coming through for us Jags there. It wasn't so much him. But I think Trevor is having one of the worst starts to a season, maybe the worst start to a season individually since his rookie year. They are winning despite it. And I think that is encouraging, because I think Etienne, who was seemingly a little on the trade block maybe this offseason, but then they traded Bigsby instead, and Etienne's been great. They're turning the ball over like crazy. That's the piece that I don't think is sustainable, so they will need Trevor to play better. So in order for them to win this game, I don't think they're going to be able to win it the way they've won their games up to this point in the year, which is despite the play of the quarterback. I think it would mean Trevor has an awesome game against a defense that last 3 games is playing really well. And I think people all of a sudden be like, wow, look at the Jags, 4-1, first in the division, second best record in the AFC, beat Kansas City. I think he'd get back to his princely status. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's what it would mean.
Yeah, so the giveaway takeaway ratio has saved Jacksonville. And there's been a bunch of problems with this team that have been overlooked because of the giveaway takeaway ratio and the fact that they've been able to win these games. But they're first in the league in penalties, so they're the most penalized team. They're first in the league in drop passes.
That's not Trevor's fault.
And, well, I mean,
Pillowy
we'll
ball.
see where the pillowy ball might be not so pillowy. But those problems that Jacksonville has are pretty disappointing, and you'd like to see them get better or have gotten better, but they haven't been. So a win over Kansas City, if Trevor Lawrence is actually responsible for the win, would have real significance. If it's more a function of the defense being able to turn the ball over against Mahomes and those turnovers leading to the win, I don't think it has the same impact.
Yeah, look, a win, it would be huge for Jacksonville. Like it would kind of mean, okay, they're for real, not as a contender, but in the hunt
pencil
for
them
that
in the
division
playoffs, yeah.
championship. Yeah. For Trevor, first of all, I don't know what back means. Like when was he? I mean, like back to the Clemson days, or
Yeah, back to before he came out.
right?
Back to
we-
before he
we-
suffered a career-altering injury that his career hasn't been the same since.
I mean, this is how Trevor.
Oh,
you
God,
mentioned how he's been struggling, Nick. Look at these ranks.
I told you he hasn't been good.
I mean,
I didn't know they were this bad.
I ate
that
mild
is
it.
horrific.
You were like, it's pretty bad. I didn't know it was this
yeah,
bad.
that's why I knew Nick was gonna soft pedal it. So
I didn't
had
soft
to-
pedal it. I
had to
said he
bring the
hasn't been
facts,
good.
All right, that's not good. That's like
Bad.
horrific.
Yeah, it's bad, I would say.
And so even if he goes out there and cooks, I have to see more. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, Trevor has arrived. I gotta see he's not in the Daniel Jones territory. I won't put him there, but I want to see a several game stretch where, for the most part, he is like, okay, he looks like a really good quarterback. Just one great game won't do it for him.
So a lot of times we have those bad quarterback stats, we say offensive line. You know, that's a lot with
Or coaching.
or coaching.
Yeah.
Always.
Trevor's been pressured on 21.7% of
No, this
his
is-
drive.
listen.
Second lowest in the league.
I'm here
so he's
to-
sitting back
He's
there.
got one of the best
Hold on.
running backs in the
Hold on.
league thus far.
I'm here to tell you.
Two very good receivers.
Yeah, I'm here to tell you the coaching's been good. The protection's been good. He's had a great running game. The only part of this that I think is not on him is the drops have been brutal, and that part I do not think is fair to blame Trevor Lawrence for. But he has not only has he missed some easy throws, his mistakes come in the red zone. Like, and that sadly is the trend for his whole career. Like, this is why they call me the mayor of fair. Even though he's my guy, I have to be
But
honest
back,
about what
you
I'm
gotta be
saying.
honest.
What
Back,
year
I
are
don't
we
know
with
what back
Trevor?
was.
We're like year 12 with Trevor now. He's kind of like, oh, maybe he's not going to make it.
All right, first of all, it's year 5. Second of all, year 2, 7th in MVP voting, pretty good. He was 7th. Year 2.
And
year
by
two-
that point,
I
the voters are
apologize.
just like, whatever. I don't care.
In
Like,
year 2, there were 6 whole players more valuable than Trevor Lawrence. I'm sorry. Gotta apologize for it.
Coming up next, we discuss tonight's game. Is Stafford going to put on an MVP-esque performance? You want to do the other one?
I thought we were, but
No, we ran out.
Aren't you going to miss the game?
No, I've got NFL